What's up, everybody? It's Munib from Weaver's Boxing Gym, and I just want to tell you about how you can go from a beginner to a professional and what the best way to do that is. So the way that I would start is by signing up for a good gym. Do your research, take your time, don't rush and just join a gym that you think is gonna be good for you. Actually go give it a try a couple places, find the right fit. Sometimes a certain coach might not be good for you. A different coach might be good for you. A different gym, a different atmosphere might work for you. Another one might not. Once you've done that, you're gonna wanna train. I always recommend that my fighters train for a year before they test their skills. It's never good to go out too soon, because if you go out there too soon, not knowing how to defend yourself properly, you could get hurt, and that could lead to a lot of embarrassment, a lot of damage to your brain that is not necessary, so take your time. Once you've done that, you're gonna wanna repeat that process several times. I did 14 amateur fights and I felt like that might have been too little. If I would have done more, it might have been even better for my career. But yeah, again, do as many amateur fights as you need and listen to your coaches. They've been there, they've done that. They've either fought or coached fighters and made it to a high level, so you're gonna wanna follow their lead. When they tell you you're ready, that's when you should go. Don't try to force it. Don't try to go behind their back and try to get a fight. I've had guys do that, really talented guys. They go from fighting on a nice show to going and fighting in like a car wash underground just because they want experience, and they're kind of like shortcutting the process. It's never good to do that. One, it doesn't mean anything for your record. It's not against talented or good fighters. Especially when you're amateur, you're gonna wanna fight every single style of fighter, right? If you're doing boxing, you're gonna wanna fight, guys who fight in and out, guys who fight aggressive, guys who fight like in a Philly shell who are defensive. You're gonna see all different kinds of style. If you're doing the kickboxing and MMA approach, you're gonna wanna fight a wrestler, you're gonna wanna fight a boxer one fight, maybe a kicker and another fight. You're gonna wanna mix that up so that when it's time to go pro, you're prepared and you've seen all styles. Now, once you go pro, in order to go pro, you're gonna need a pro license. Now, the rules in Michigan, I believe now, are you need one amateur fight to go pro. So it's not necessary that you need to be even good at fighting to go pro. It's not what we call a caveat to going pro. So just because you go pro doesn't mean you're gonna just be like, hey, I'm walking around as a tough guy now. It doesn't mean anything at all. Because like I said, any average Joe off the street can pick up one amateur fight and then sign up for a pro fight, so long as he passes his blood work and his medicals. Do I agree with that? No, but there's also a necessity for those kind of journeyman fighters to help other guys grow. And it's also, the reason they do that is they can make some money to pay their bills. As sad as that sounds, it's part of the fight game. You're gonna see on every single level. Once you go pro, that's when you really wanna focus and hone in. My biggest mistake when I went pro is my first couple fights fell out, right? I couldn't get those easy matchups to build me up and build up my confidence as a pro. So I decided, you know what, screw that. I'm gonna fight some really tough guys right off the bat. So I took a couple losses early on in my career because I wasn't listening to my coaching. What I recommend is learn from that. Don't do what I did. Instead of learning that tough lesson, go out there and listen to your coaches. Obviously I turned it around, won 7 of my last 8 fights and did great, but to avoid that, listen to your coaches and you'll do fantastic. Hopefully this video helps you, and if it's something you want to do, make sure you stay in the gym. Again, I recommend 1 year of training before you even take your first fight. If you can do that, then by all means go out there and test yourself and get better every single day. Have a nice one.